Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of Burton Ballers. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about a certain Romelu Lukaku, and is he on his way out of Chelsea?
Welcome to the Burton Ballers. Ain't got no time for no stallers, yeah.
We are the risers, we're not the fallers. Our channel is growing wider and taller.
Yeah, we're here to give you the news about your dear beloved Blues, yeah.
So if you like this YouTube channel, like, subscribe and turn on that bell.
Yeah.
So, it hasn't been great, has it? Romelu Lukaku's return to Chelsea has gone from one disaster to another. You know, I was one of these who was advocating for Lukaku. I defended Lukaku week in, week out. I even defended him after his interview, but you know, now he's let us all down. You know, it's time for him to go. He's clearly not happy at Chelsea. So what he was saying in that interview, where he didn't mean to upset Chelsea fans, he clearly didn't want to leave Inter Milan in the first place, and it shows. His performances haven't been up to scratch. Saying that though, he was still our top goal scorer in all competitions, and that's the pity actually. That's what sort of makes me sad, because had he been a fully focused Lukaku, had he not done that ill-fated interview, had he you know, gelled with his teammates, then we could have been looking at that 25-30 goal striker, because he scored 15 goals in all competitions, I believe. You know, I think that he had at least another 10 to 15 goals in him if all this noise surrounding him, all this negativity around him didn't surface this season. But it was, you know, everything, you know, after that interview, a lot of the fans turned against him. And you know, he had some injuries as well, but he just didn't look interested on the pitch. You know, one game, I can't remember which game it was, we only had 7 touches of the ball, and yeah, that was shocking. You know. But this guy, can he make up his mind or not? Because he's indecisive. He's been indecisive on the field this season, and he seems to be indecisive off the field as well. Because if we look at Lukaku, what we have is a guy who's not quite sure what he wants. Because remember when he was at Manchester United, and he had Mia Raiola as his agent, and after the move he dismissed Raiola. He got rid of him as his agent, and he says, you know, he didn't want to join Manchester United. He really wanted to come to Chelsea under Conte, which incidentally, ironically I should say, if he had come to Chelsea then under Conte, then I reckon we'd have seen a lot better Lukaku, because Conte and Lukaku are a match made in heaven, because Conte is a counter-attacking manager, and that's the sort of football that Lukaku likes. He likes to, you know, teams who play, you know, on the counter, and he's not a possession-based forward. He likes to be on the end of crosses. He likes to run the channels, and he likes balls over the top. So what he's also, he was unhappy at the time because he said he was ill-advised, and now he's saying the same thing. He's saying that his agent, so we got Federico Pastorello, who was his agent, but now he's coming out with this, he's got rid of him, and he's citing the fact that he's given him bad career advice. So that says to me that he didn't want to come back to Chelsea in the first place, and it was his agent who was pressuring him to join Chelsea. But at the end of the day, he's the man who makes the decisions. It's not his agent. His agent's employed by him, not the other way round. So he should have been strong enough to say to Pastorello, you know what, I don't think I'll fit into this Chelsea way of football. I've seen the way Tuchel plays, and it's not really for me. So I prefer to stay at Inter. So that's what he should have said. And the other thing, what is Pastorello, I think, because we done him a favour by buying Malang Sarr and putting him on a 100,000 a week contract, and so that's why he did all in his power to get Lukaku to Chelsea. So now he's moved on from him, and he's hired a lawyer, Sebastian Ledor, apparently his name is. He's hired to take charge of his affairs. And so what they've done, they had a meeting with the hierarchy at Inter Milan, Giuseppe Maratta, and to try and work out a way how we can get back to Inter Milan. So what they've done, he's had a meeting with Giuseppe Maratta from Inter Milan, the Inter Milan owner, and they're trying to work out a way which he can get back to Inter Milan. So, you know, that interview which he did, you know, there was some truth in it. He did want to go back to Inter Milan. He didn't want to join Chelsea in the first place. So now we're seeing him in his true colours. So, he's kind of playing it clever as well, because he did say he'll be happy to stay at Chelsea, but, you know, he wants Thomas Tuchel to play to his strengths rather than, you know, him playing within the team model. But he doesn't want to do that. So should Tuchel adapt his style just to suit Lukaku? Probably not. It's more the other way of Lukaku's got to change to adapt Tuchel's style of play. It's a team game. It's not a one-man game. And Lukaku's that sort of person who needs to be the focal point. He needs to have a team built around him. You saw it when he was at Everton. He was kind of the big fish in a small pond. You saw at Inter Milan that everything was built towards his style of play. And so he's not finding that at Chelsea at the moment. So the talk is that he's agreed terms to go back to Inter, but it's not about that. It's about how they could buy him back. The reason they sold him in the first place was because they were in financial difficulties. So they need to find a way to buy him back. Chelsea don't want to lose face as well. So Chelsea will be trying to work out a deal where they don't lose lots of money. One of the things which has been spoken about is a around about 15 or 12 to 20 million euro, I think, loan fee with an option to buy, not an option, with a obligation to buy for around about 70 million. I keep looking at the TV actually, because there's something about Lukaku on Sky Sports, so I need to watch that a little bit afterwards, what they're saying. But 70 million, but again, Inter Milan are thinking, oh, maybe not afford it. But I find it a bit kind of puzzling, because we still owe the money. Because the way transfers work as well, we didn't pay that 105 million euro or 97.5 million pounds, what you want to call it. We don't pay that up front. We pay it in installments. So I think we've probably paid about 25 to 30 million of that money. So there's still another 60 million pounds to be given to Inter Milan. So the way that they can do it, why can't they just take him back? And, you know, I don't know, the way for finances work a bit different, so maybe it's how it's done on the books or whatever, but do we have to keep paying those installments? Because if they're paying us in installments, they're kind of paying us what we need to pay them. So it kind of doesn't make sense. So anyone knows how it works, explain it to me in the comment section below, because, you know, I'm thinking logically, but as I said, it's probably not as simple as that. There's probably more things, intricate things to be done when it comes to transfers. And then another team he's thinking, maybe Inter may not be able to afford me. What about Bayern? Bayern may be able to afford me. So what he's saying now is that his agents are also talking to Bayern Munich, because we know that Lewandowski wants to go. So Bayern Munich may be interested. So a little swap deal between us. I know that Lewandowski really wants Barcelona, but Barcelona are broke. They're broke. They may not even be able to get Christensen on a free transfer. So I don't know how they're going to get Lewandowski. So Lewandowski, they value at around 40 million. So if we can do a little swap deal and they pay an extra 20 or 30 million on top, because of the age, not saying that he's a 30 million pound better than Lewandowski, but that's because Lewandowski is 4 years older. So that's got to be factored in as well. So maybe that could work as well. So what do you guys think of that as well? Put it in the comment section below. So that's a guy who doesn't want to play for us. And let's talk about a guy who does want to play for us. I think he does want to play for us, Dembele. There's a lot of talk that we are close to agreeing a deal with Dembele. I'm not sure how true that is, but he's somebody I would like. He's on a free transfer. And so I know his wages, 250 a month. That'd be cheap. 250,000 a week, hopefully. Something around that mark. We can get him on a free. I think that makes good business sense as well. But we're also looking at some other strikers. So I've mentioned those in an earlier video, so I won't go over those names. But there's a lot of talk about Dembele and the deal being close. So that's one to keep an eye on. What do you think of Dembele? Stick your comments in the section below. So, Lukaku, mate, it was nice knowing you. If you do go, it didn't work out, I hoped it did, but it didn't. And let's just move on from Lukaku now, because there's too much noise going about. And maybe if he does stay next season, we may be getting some more some more disruptions in the camp, which we don't want. So I think it's better if we just cut ties with the guy and just move on, get somebody else in who can hopefully bang in the goals to take us to the top. So guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on all post notifications so you'll be notified every time I make a new video. Until then guys, take care, bye bye.